Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. My name is CaptainShack, and this is my speed build in Space Engineers. So if you're not aware, I've been covering Space Engineers. It just came out on Steam. It's the early alpha build, and it's a game that reminds me of the early access version of Minecraft. It's cheaper than it's going to be when it's fully released, just like Minecraft. It doesn't have all the features, but it does have the building. So just the background of how this started, I had posted a video talking about Space Engineers and what the game was, and I got a comment saying, can you build Slave 1? And I was looking for something interesting to build, something that would allow me to learn the controls and really get them down. And Slave 1 was a great idea because it has all these curves. It would be so difficult to build in a cube space. So as you can see, I just dived right in and started trying to make Slave 1. It was challenge accepted, is what I replied to the guy. I'm already throwing on my my reactors there, is what you're seeing. So what this game is, it's a lot like Minecraft. I'm looking at the controls there, trying to figure out how to do everything, trying to get how the rotation works, because you use print screen, what is it, home, end, page up, page down, insert and delete to rotate in 3 dimensions. So it's a little weird getting used to, but once you get it down, you'll see later in the video that I really start moving fast once I get down how to rotate the objects. But the game's a lot like Minecraft. It's got that feeling where there's a lot of potential here. I mean, the game is gorgeous, and it has a full physics engine, and it has ship parts. You can actually fly these ships if you use all the right parts. It takes into account mass and size, where your thrusters are located. It's pretty kick-ass. You have to have power. That's why I had to put those nuclear power plants strapped to the back of our demo build here of Slave 1. This is a blind build. I didn't plan it at all. I didn't plan it out. I kind of just jumped right in to see what would work. And this is my first real, like, I'm trying to build something specific. So, you know, be kind. Alright, so I'm trying to get the round red sections done, and it's really a pain because you're using, you know, square blocks to try to get a smooth round surface. But that's why this build was so challenging. So I've got the length of the ship built, and then you're gonna notice later that it's kind of stubby for the size. So at one point, I actually cut off the bottom with the guns attached, and then just push it out of my way. And it's space, there's no gravity, so you just see the brick of part of the ship float away, which is kind of cool. I do like that they added that. When you're building a ship in this game, make sure you put a gyroscope in there, or if you even tap it on accident, it'll start floating and spinning, and it's a real pain to get it to stop. So I'm getting the reds, or what is this, the green sections down, I think? Yeah, this is the green sections in the picture. I had thought later on, after building this, I was like, you know, I could have built this with the back end down, like it actually lands. It made it so you could walk up the ramp they show in the movies. Because you can walk around, and I can actually add, like, well, I probably couldn't add a gravity generator to this because it's such a small ship, but I could have at least had that section in there. So when it is landed and there's gravity, like in the station below me, I would have been able to walk in and up to the door to the cockpit and had a little cargo area, which would have been cool. So for future reference, if you're building a ship, think about the internals of it and where you're able to walk in these ships and how big it should really be. This one is not built to, you know, appropriate scale for the size of the character I'm playing. So I was messing with like the radar sections, trying to figure out how to make the wings, but you can't attach anything to the radar. So I just went with basic blocks as the wings, and then built on a bunch of ramps, trying to make some type of the wings are really thin on the actual ship, and I couldn't find anything to really match that thinness. I was thinking there's like these cover sections I could use, but you can't attach them to small bricks. So it looks like what they really need to add, oh, I've already started coloring it now, so I can identify some of the sections that I'm working on. What they really need to do is add the like flat panels so you can make thin wings and thin sections. I think would be a definite plus. The developers said that they're talking about adding new colors. Right now there's like 8 or 9. I mean, you've got black, red, white, a gray kind of gunmetal, and I think a blue. Yeah, there's a blue for sure because I just showed it in the background. So I'm coloring in all the sections. But the problem with adding more colors is, for some reason, it adds a lot to the CPU strain for every color that they add. So that's kind of on the low end of the things that they need to do. So I started working on the back end, the red section. And I had no idea what I was doing. I did realize I needed more thrusters to be able to actually turn the ship, because you have to have a thruster facing in every direction so you have full attitude control. What you will notice, if you haven't noticed, I didn't put any thrusters facing up. I forgot. I totally forgot. And that comes and bites me in the ass a little later on. I did fix it eventually, but the ship just starts like floating away after I gave it a little test flight. It's like, oh no, and there's nothing to stop it unless you add a thruster. So I had to keep getting into it and like rotating it to slow it down. And eventually I figured it out. Oh, okay, I'm missing a thruster, and I had to like catch up to it with the jetpack and slap one on anywhere I could just to get the damn thing to stop. So, future reference, when you're building the ship, get the thrusters on early and make sure they're facing in every direction. Definitely a learning experience. So I kind of see the color pattern coming out. You got the red in the background. This section was such a pain trying to get the curves, but this is something you can't do in Minecraft. I was sad to see Minecraft, outside of mods, there are mods that allow you to do it, but they don't have the curved blocks. They don't have the corner blocks and the curved blocks, which really lessens what you can build and to the detail that you can build it. But in this, they started out with it, so you can really get some interesting shapes and designs going. What I'd like to do for, everybody on TGN and on my channel, if this goes out on TGN, I'd like to get, if there's more creative shipbuilders out there who have the game and are building awesome stuff, take a little recording of it. Get the, demo version of Fraps or Bandicam if you don't make YouTube videos, or if you do, if you're a director on YouTube and you're covering this, and send me a link. Send it to the XP Gamers. My channel link is in the description below if this is on TGN. If it's on my channel, click that. The XP Gamers, go to my channel, send me a message that has a link to a video clip of your awesome creation. And what I'll do is I'll grab everybody's video links and make a montage, and we'll put it up on TGN, and then we'll send it to the developers of Space Engineers and see if they want to use it in their next trailer, because their last trailer was nothing but player-made ships, and it was really cool what people came up with. There was stuff like Serenity from the Firefly class from the movie Serenity from the series Firefly. There was, I think there was a Star Destroyer in there. There was a couple of ships from StarCraft, I believe. I mean, there was a bunch, like the Battlecruiser. There's a bunch. And I know the TGN community's got some shipbuilders. I know I'm not a talented, creative person when it comes to building 3D models like this. My Minecraft stuff was majorly just like, I built a castle. Look, I built a cooler castle. And that was the gist of it. But now we're talking about spaceships, so I'm all about it. And I can't wait to see what you guys come up with. My next build, I don't know what I should build next. What do you guys think? Now that I've done something with curves, I think I want to do something with more straight lines. Maybe an X-Wing, keep the Star Wars theme going. Maybe something... I want to do one more fighter, and then I'll go up to like the cruiser class. Eventually, I want to make the Enterprise. The original, the old school one from the original series, not from the new movies, though they're pretty similar. But the old school one with the crazy little deflector dish and the spinning bits on the nacelles, that could be really cool. So there you go. I built the guns, and I was like, this is way too stubby. Get out of my face. And I just pushed the gun section off. Once you detach something from the ship, and if it doesn't have a gyroscope, it will float. And then it's governed by the physics of the game, so you can just, smack it and it'll float away. So I gave it a lot more length to it, made it seem a bit bulkier, because the picture is much longer. That middle section seems a bit heavier. And for the life of me, it took forever to get these damn guns in place. But there we go. To set the guns up, I actually just put a brick and then set it on the front of the brick, which worked perfectly. I think it looks really good. Got the color scheme down, got the red, got the black stripe on the top. The picture is really hard to see in YouTube because it darkens everything, but the sides are supposed to be green, and the top is supposed to be this little black section. So, I know it probably just all looks black on YouTube for whatever reason. When the compression, it changes kind of how the colors look. But there's a little bit of issues. This is up to 600%. But all right, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. This is my version of Slave 1. And if you guys can do better, I'd love to see it. This is Boba Fett's ship from the original series. I guess from the new trilogy too. They got Jango Fett flying it around. I think it's in a bit better shape in those movies. But the one I'm using is from the original trilogy. You know, it's beat to hell. Boba Fett's used it to hunt targets all over the galaxy, so he's got all the scuff marks and laser burns. Of course, I can't represent that in this game. I can't actually paint on that kind of stuff. But I think it came out pretty good for an initial build. I think in the next builds, I want to do them to scale, because I realize you should be able to walk into it. I mean, it's a fairly large ship. And he shows them loading up stuff into the cargo bay. This ship didn't last long, however, before I was messing her up. I took her for a joyride. I took it out to the blue ship that's in the Easy Start, and first thing I did, realized I have a lot of engines on the back and almost none to turn with, and slammed it right into the blue ship. But you know what? Damage overall, we lost a little bit of the wing and it was fine. It's perfectly fine. So, in my genius, I said, okay, you know what? She flies all right. Let's throw 4 cruiser-sized nuclear reactors to the back and 3 or 4 more engines. What I had failed to do, or just ignored, oh, I also put the thrusters on the top because it was starting to float away from me. What I failed to realize was, the issue that I just had with the blue ship is the same exact issue I'm about to have right now, and there's the rock. Oh. So she lived for about 30 minutes after I completed it. But I love the damage modeling in this. So honestly, I would have thrown the ship into something anyways, just to see the awesome physics and damage modeling that they've been able to build. So we're going to take a look at the damage real quick, and that'll be it for the video. I mean, look at how the metal's all bent in. Isn't that fantastic? I can't wait to see this on large-scale ships with weapons firing at each other. It's going to be really, really cool. And I have the welding tool to actually be able to fix that. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see what you guys can come up with. I really do. So send me a link to the XP Gamers, or email me at xpgamers@gmail.com. The link will be down below. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next time.